Hello YouTube, this is a follow-up video to the one I just uploaded about references. So in that video I explained that I lost a prospective teaching job at a school that I really wanted to work at because the manager who was hiring me, interviewing me, he went to my old school where I used to work last year, and then his manager told me that the school gave me a bad review and recommended not to hire me, to my surprise. So I suspected that somebody was lying, either my old school or this new manager that didn't want to hire me for some reason, just made up this lie about me. So I found out for sure when somebody I knew who spoke Korean fluently, he called the old school where I used to work and said that he was a recruiter with my resume in front of him, and he just asked for a reference about me. And he just asked about me as a teacher, if there was anything, the good and the bad about me. So the headmaster, the boss of the school that I used to work at, he said that I was a great teacher, that he liked me, all the teachers liked me, the students liked me, I got along with everybody, I did a great job, and that if my heart wasn't so set on going to Seoul, he would keep trying to convince me to stay and to work at that school. So the only bad thing he said about me was that, you know, my friend asked him on the phone, was he the best teacher? He said maybe he wasn't the best, maybe not the cream of the crop, but definitely a great teacher, and I definitely wanted him to stay at the school. So that's a relief, knowing that in the future I can get a good review from that school. It's not going to keep me from getting a job. But what I learned from this, what I took from this experience, and maybe what you can take out of this is, you can't blame Korea for all these problems that happen when it just happens one time. You have a problem and you can't say, well, that's all of Korea. But one big thing in Korea that's true, and that comes out with a lot of these principals, these bosses that work at these private schools and public schools, is they're not very direct with you. And they dance around issues that they have, problems that they have. They avoid it because of the language barrier and a cultural barrier. So what happened at the school that I was interviewing at, I sat down at the interview with the Korean boss and with an American manager. The American manager, he endorsed me, he recommended me, and I was his top choice. But the Korean manager had doubts. There was a teacher that worked a year or 2 years prior who would go out all the time, and who would go downtown, who would get drunk, and who would kind of make a fool of himself. And maybe he wasn't a great teacher for that school. So now the Korean boss is skeptical for all older male foreigner types that I guess look like me. So that's the reason why he acted that way. The unfortunate thing was he had to tell a lie to his own manager who trusts him. Then the manager had to tell me the lie that I got a bad review and that they were advised not to hire me. That was totally made up. So these are just some things that you'll encounter when you try to get jobs, especially at private schools in Korea. They want you to fit a certain image. So when you send in your resume, you have to have a good picture, because they look at that picture first. And if you don't fit the image that they're looking for, they don't even look at the resume. They just pass and move up and move along. That's just one of the sad truths about Korea. The parents expect a certain type of English teacher. Okay, some more good news is I just got a job. I just signed a contract for a new year at teaching at an after-school program. I'm not going to talk too much about that in this video. I just wanted to finish the video with some good news that I found a great job with the favorable conditions, favorable salary, and I'm going to go apartment shopping tomorrow. And I'll make a video about something in the future, very shortly, maybe in the next month, about maybe transferring from the D10 visa to the E2 visa. Maybe some people would like to know about that. Maybe I'll shoot some video tomorrow about apartment shopping in Korea. Maybe that's interesting to you. Hope you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.